So this is fire station number 2. It was built in 1966, right in the heart of campus town, right on the intersection of Welch and Chamberlain. Busy location with a lot of delivery trucks coming into this area with restaurants and bars here. And then also a lot of foot traffic as students head into campus. So a congested area for sure. And then come Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, especially during the fall, there's a lot of foot traffic in the evening hours down here with patrons visiting the restaurants and bars that are down in this area. So foot traffic gets busy. That's the only station we have in Ames where you actually have to back into the station, so we don't have the availability to drive through like we do stations 1 and 3. This station is 5,500 square foot. It does have a little office up front. We call that the lieutenant's office. That's an area where they can come to do reports. We also house all of our station alerting system here, all of the speakers that go off when a call comes in to alert the crews that there's a call that we need to respond to. Here's our laundry room. Once again, it's out in the truck bay as part of our carcinogen reduction plan. This is not ideal because we're out in an area that we would consider a hot zone, and this is where they'll come in, they'll do all their laundry for the station. So we're talking about bath towels from taking a shower. We're talking about towels from washing dishes. They also use this same stuff to wash all the truck towels when they wash the fire apparatus. And so it's not a great spot to do. It's just a spot where we found to set up our washer and dryer at. In a new fire station, we want this set up into a clean room, what we call on the clean side of the house, to do all of the laundry that's part of bath towels, as part of our kitchen towels. Those would be separate from the truck towels that we wash and not all in the same room. So you can see we have some towels out here. We have all of our EMS equipment. We also have our radio stored out here. So the crews have done a good job making limited space work for all of the equipment that we have out here. The crews out here, there's 3 different shifts that work a 24-hour duty time, then they have 48 hours off. So we have 3 different lockers that are set up for them to put their turnout gear on. The problem with this setup is that the turnout gear, which is worn into a fire, collects carcinogens. And then we try to wash the gear as soon as possible after a fire. Each member has a set of backup gear that they can put on. But sometimes that's not always feasible to get the gear in there, or the fire's not that large, and so they come back, they put their gear in here, it sits out, it's exposed to some of the exhaust as vehicles come in and out, but then the gear also can off-gas. So as part of our carcinogen reduction plan, we actually want to get the gear located in a room with a negative pressure so that's not off-gassing and putting carcinogens out into the truck bay when the crews are out here. This is the parking for our crews. We actually put up a fence probably 15 years ago. As people were passing through, this used to be a common alleyway that people would walk through, and we were having some issues with people messing with other people's vehicles as they'd go through and causing some minor damage, so we put a fence up. It's open during the day, but during the evening hours we do close the gate to try to keep people's vehicles safe and keep them from walking through. This is what we call the day room, dining room, kitchen area. You can see it's kind of an all-in-one spot here that the crews use. They'll eat together, lunch and supper. They chip in money. In the morning, they'll run to the store and they'll figure out what they're going to eat for the day, get all the groceries and come back, and then in between calls, they'll cook up a meal and sit down at the table and eat together. So this is another computer set up for report writing. Gets a little distracting in here when you have people cooking, or in the evening hours they can turn on the TV and get a little downtime in between calls. So if you're trying to work on a report, the TV could be on, somebody could be in the kitchen cooking, or people are in the dining room. So out here we have 6 bedrooms that we've created. This was remodeled actually probably about 8 years ago, and we had just a big bunk room. We made individual bunk rooms for people, and that was probably 15 years ago that we did the individual bunk rooms. But we only had 5, and we were running 6 sometimes out here because Station 2 was busy. We'd try to have a dedicated rescue, which means we'd put 2 people that run on our medical unit all the time and leave 4 on our engine. But we were short 1 room for them to get rest in the evening hours between calls. So we actually took one of the bedrooms and cut it in half again to make a 6th bedroom to get us by for that time. The restroom, it's set up for just 1 person to really use it. It's a larger restroom. We got 1 shower in there, but when 1 person's in there, it doesn't allow anybody else to go in. It's just a single use. This is the workout room. We were able to get most of the equipment that we have for the stations in here. It's tight to work around, especially if you get all 5 of the crew members in here trying to do stuff. The crews have also used it kind of as a makeshift storage area for the kitchen. And then over here we had another shower that the original restroom actually had 2 showers in there, but it wasn't ideal to have 2 people showering at the same time for privacy. So we ended up making this a private shower over here. It doesn't get used a whole lot just because of there's no sink, there's no restroom, and there's just solely a shower. But what it does is it allows a crew to, after a fire, to come back as part of our carcinogen reduction plan to get cleaned up right away after a fire at least. And so it's here, they have access to it, they use it, just it's not as user-friendly as the other bathroom that's set up. So if you look on the map, you can see here's district number 2 outlined in red, and that's the area that fire station number 2 covers, which is currently located here at Welch and Chamberlain. It's not too far of a move, but we want to go over to State, which will help with a lot of the calls that are out west and the overall response time for the city, which will actually improve by 2 percentage points, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's 120 calls or 120 more calls that we're getting to within 5 minutes that we weren't getting to before. We're really excited for this opportunity to relocate fire station number 2 because we know that it's going to have a huge improvement in our overall response time and our ability to serve Ames safely.